Hey everyone, it's Michael Reese here. Today what we're going to talk about is personal accountability and why it's important. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a digital marketer. I help real estate agents, teams, and brokers build their real estate businesses through leveraging social media, digital marketing, online funnels. And if you'd like to grow your real estate business, make sure you go check us out at listingclass.com. There's a short little video there that walks you through the best offers that are working right now. We believe that if your business isn't doing what you want it to do, if it's not growing, it means you need a more compelling offer. And if you want a compelling offer that works, you need to be able to get it in front of more people. If you can do that, you can grow your business. And remember, it's easier to grow fast than it is slow. So today we're talking a little bit about personal accountability. And specifically what I want to talk to you about is a couple things that I do. I've been doing these things for years. Personal accountability to me is, setting a goal and being committed. And commitment means after the time has passed in which you were excited or motivated to set the goal, that if you're committed, you're still working towards that goal. You're still doing the things that you need to do. And as it relates to growing your real estate business, what I do is I set those goals early in the week. I call it my top 5. It was a concept I learned from Chet Holmes' Ultimate Sales Machine. And your top 5 thing is really just looking out over your week and really deciding what are the top 5 things that you're going to do. Now, I look at my top 5 and I've given context to how I prioritize those things in the past. But if you haven't adopted a top 5, I highly recommend it. What are the top 5 things you need to do this week in order to get to where you're trying to go? So what are your top 5 things? A lot of the times when the business is slow, you want to make sure you're looking at those and making sure there's a healthy balance of things that are going to be helping you generate revenue. And even better yet, having a backlog of things that you can work on, taking those things and looking through and finding out what are the things that are going to work best. Now, when you're working with the team, I love working with the team. One of the things that you can have with personal accountability is what we call an end of day report. We refer to it as an EOD. And so let's say that I'm working on a team, but I want to be accountable. I'm going to find someone on that team that's going to share with me their top 5, what they're doing, and then they're going to share with me at the end of the day what they've gotten done. And I think that that's important for a couple of reasons. It's really easy for us to go through the motions. I think one of the worst things that people do is they do things right, but they do them in the wrong order. That's Peter Drucker, getting the right things done, getting them done correctly, but the most important is getting done in the correct order. And so when you have an end of day, it's kind of like an accounting of what you got done. So for me, a lot of the times I'll look at my end of day myself. So I'll look at my top 5. I'll look at what things that I'm needing to do. And I'll say, okay, I'm not going to tackle that one till Wednesday. That one's going to be on Thursday. I really need to tackle this one today. And I'm looking for the different weight stations, the things that are aligned with getting that thing done, but that are in my control. If there's something that I want to get done, but I can't actually get it to the end zone, and there's something that is in total control of mine and I can get it checked off and get it done, then I might prioritize that thing, especially if there's other people that I need. So let's say I'm working on a software, implementing a new tool. I have to meet with somebody. I have to review a contract. The thing that I can do if I'm launching a new tool and there's a contract sent to me, then I can review the contract, but I can't launch the new tool until I have the new tool available. And I share that with you because we're working on some pretty cool stuff where, again, a business partner of mine said, hey, listen, today my top 1 was getting that contract reviewed and over back to the third party that had sent it to us. And again, that was something in his control. We want to purchase this tool, this solution, because we believe it's going to help us with our business. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of things in that process that aren't in our control, but getting that agreement and getting it done is one of the things in our control. An effort metric is something that I'm very, very keen on, if you will. It's something that I think is important. If you don't have an effort metric, what is, based upon your goal, what is the thing that you need to do right now that's going to help you drive your effort or measure your effort every single day? So if you're an ISA, that might be dials or conversations. If you're an online marketer, that might be things that you're doing as far as, let's say you're doing email marketing or you're running ads or it's engagement with your ads. What is the thing that you're going to do that you're going to then measure yourself based upon your effort? Maybe it's going to be launching new ad creative a week for a new funnel that you've done. Maybe it's going to be, contacting a certain amount of your leads, making a follow-up call for your hot people. Whatever it is, what effort metric do you currently have? If you want to have personal accountability, know you're in your top 5, looking at the end of the day what you got done, making sure you know how you're measuring your effort. And one thing that I will tell you that will help you with all of this, because when you're doing anything, you're going to have things that aren't part of the long-term plan. There are things that come into your life. I have a box sitting over here that I need to address. A lot of those things, I'm going to do it now or touch it once. So when I look at something that comes across my plate, I have time in my calendar where I can check email or where maybe I can make a phone call, or I have things that have changed where I had a certain meeting and it got done quickly. When that happens, I'm going to be effective with my time and I'm going to say, okay, I have this thing over over here. I want to touch it once. Let's go ahead and open it up, look at it. And if it's something that we can get done within that window, I'm going to touch it once, get it done so that I don't have to put it on my plate and I can have that time. Maybe I'll work on a project that's going to help me work towards the future. And, you know, moving to Puerto Rico, there's a lot of those things. For me, I try to do one a day. That's what I do. That's kind of an inside joke here, is like, what's the one thing we're going to do every single day? There's a lot of things that we had to do. Register vote, get a driver's license. There's a lot of times that I have to go to the bank here, which was different from when I lived in Texas, but things here are a little bit different and you got to be accustomed to that. So there's things that get on my plate and I got to do them right now, touch it once. If you're really being accountable to yourself, anytime you're in a situation, if you're touching things once, if you're not letting things pile up, having a lot of indecision, that's going to help you with your productivity. But from an accountability standpoint, always ask yourself what you could do different. Okay, what could I do differently? So personal accountability. Let's say there's something in your life right now where you're having a struggle. Maybe you have a conflict. Maybe just any point of resistance, right? And you work through it. Maybe it was a hard thing. If you look back and review that, always ask yourself what you could do differently. That to me gives you or grants you with awareness. Once you have awareness, you can call on that awareness in the future of, oh man, I remember last time when such and such happened and I could have done this differently. I could have done that. If I would have just actually checked my email and replied, that whole thing that happened wouldn't have happened because of this situation and that situation where I didn't do something, you know, it created a little bit more complexity, maybe miscommunication, that sort of thing. So my advice to you is, if you can always ask yourself in situations where things don't go like you want and you're trying to be personally accountable, ask yourself, hey, how could I have done this differently? A good friend of mine and a lot of my colleagues have adopted the principle 100-0. If that's you, put 100-0 in the comments. And while you're there, if you like this video, make sure you hit like, because that's going to help the fancy old Facebook algorithm help other people like yourself who are out there trying to learn and grow. You can't exceed your own personal development. So good for you for taking the time to get out there and seek and try to get better. I'm just sharing the things that for me have worked from a personal accountability standpoint, having the 100-0 mindset, meaning zero excuses, 100% accountability, touching things once, always looking back over time, asking myself what I could do differently. And most importantly, lay out your core values. I know that a lot of people haven't done that. Some of you have, some of you haven't. But if you've ever been in a situation where things maybe didn't work out, or you're working on a team, or even in your family, you know, everybody has a different set of values, and establishing those helps you create kind of rules to the game on how you're going to play. For me, I like having the core value. One that we had is, it basically was open and real conversation. So for me, anybody in my life, when something happens, I don't let it dwell, sit, marinate. I attack it. Open and real conversation. I say what I think I need to say. I want to listen to them, give them the benefit of the doubt, assume positive intent, make sure I have the right approach, don't want to disrespect anyone, put anyone on the defense. But at the same time, if I have something to say, I might tell you, hey, you need to buckle up, because I'm going to tell you what I think. And at the end of the day, I can be accountable. You can tell me back what you think, and then we can go ahead and move forward, versus me building up, you know, this emotion of frustration. Maybe I start to not respect you because of my interpretation of perspective, but then you give me clarity as I address the situation, giving you the ability to be open and real and give me feedback. I give you feedback. We then grow together better as far as relationship, whether that's working, any type, even in family. So having a set of core values and then being congruent with them. Then the worst thing you can do is have this value and then not be congruent, because I think that for me, when I see people who say one thing and then do another, that's really a sign of a character flaw, someone that I couldn't trust. I wouldn't trust somebody that says that they behave one way and then actually they behave another, but they present one way. And so for me, being personally accountable, once I've established the core values that I have, for me, it's about living my life and being congruent to those. Think about it. Hopefully this makes a little bit of sense. Those are things that have helped me along the way. You know, you can never exceed your own personal development. It's the whole law of the lid. If you're a leader, if you have a team, you never can grow a team past your own capacity or capability. So being a leader like yourself, learning, what do they say? Leaders are readers. Learning or watching videos like this, continuing to grow, always learning. Great way to live your life. For me, that's actually a core value, is learn like I'm going to live forever, right? Try to outlearn my competition. So remember, touch it once, 100-0, effort metrics, top 5. At the end of the day, get those core values documented and make sure you live them, be congruent. With that being said, thanks so much for listening. Appreciate you guys. Michael Reese. If you haven't had the opportunity to check out listingclass.com, make sure you go check it out. Listingclass.com. There's a video there. We walk you through the best offers working right now online. If you're not generating enough business online from social media or leveraging content, You should. I believe the best content marketer will win. And if you don't have an idea of what that means, head on over to listingclass.com. Short little video walks you through how people across North America are actually winning online and what offers are actually helping them accomplish that. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.